Hello, and in my area, it's a good afternoon, barely a good afternoon. It's in the evening for those in England, which is where Brooke and Anna are from MuddiBrooke's. So, looking forward to talking to these ladies about this band and their upcoming release. Well, let's go ahead and bring our guests in now. How are you ladies today? Oh, hang on. Oh, actually, I'm sorry. I didn't do that. So, how are you today? Let's try that.
I'm good, thanks. You?
Good,
How are
thank
you,
you.
Viking Stew?
Doing all right today. It's keeping busy. I'll tell you, some days, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You just keep yourself way too busy, and just scooting everything in gets to be a pain sometimes. But
Definitely been one of those
this
days.
is fantastic. Been excited for this ever since just the other day when I was talking with Toby Jepson and we were talking about your band and doing an opening slot. So it's great to have you here today. Thank you very much for doing this with us today.
Oh, thanks for having us.
Absolutely.
Looking
Been
forward
having the chance to listen to a lot of the music over the course of the last, few days, and a lot in the last few hours. I've been really going through it. So before we get started, usually I do a lightning round. I know we only have a bit of time. We have about 40 minutes or so we were talking about. So I want to make sure I just hit you with one quick question.
Oh.
What is it? What style? What kind of music is it? Or what artist is it that you really like that's kind of opposite of what you play? And what people would think, usually when people see us perform, I do a band as well, and they think that's what you do and that's what you like. But what's contrary to that you might like?
You take this one, Anna.
Oh God, I feel like I don't know. At the moment, it's Sabrina Carpenter. Actually, I love her. I kind of like anything that's got a bit of a country twang to it. And I kind of hear that in her songs, and I just think her songs are super catchy. And yeah, that's definitely not anything similar as in terms of MuddiBrooke at all. But yeah,
absolutely. What about you, Brooke?
I like all sorts. Like Anna, we're both into our country very much.
Oh, really?
So. Yeah, we love our country. But I like a lot of 80s stuff like Pretenders and Adamant and things, but then I also like a bit of dubstep, which is
nice. Do you tend to have do either of you tend to have an old school music inclination where you like a lot of older bands so that somebody that might look at you and think, oh, you know about them?
Yeah. That's mainly our taste, really. A lot of it, I mean, we obviously we like all sorts, don't we? But yeah, like I said, like Pretenders and Adamant and Joni Mitchell, Janis Joplin, all the greats. Yeah.
It's interesting that you mentioned Joni Mitchell because I just bumped into a video with a woman who was playing that on I don't remember, it was an interview she was doing, and she was playing some Joni Mitchell, and I was like, well, that's interesting you mentioned that. There's Adamant, of course, back in the day, Adam and the Ants. I mean, I love all that that kind of stuff is great, All right, well, let's get started into this then. You got the band together in 2020, correct?
Yeah. We were different.
And what a funky time to start, right?
Yeah. Wasn't the best time, was it?
Nope.
we had a different drummer then.
That's what I was going to ask. Yes.
Yeah. Sorry, taking the questions out of your mouth.
No, that leads us right in. That means we're talking exactly the way we should.
No, we started out as three girls, and it was me, Anna, and Mary on the drums, and then it was lockdown and everything else, and we got together before all that, so it was unexpected when it came up, and hard to do the gigs. So we didn't do our first gig till summer 21, late summer 21. And then it went from there really. And then after lockdown, Mary wanted to leave, and then we got Morgan in, who's drumming for us now still.
Mm-hmm.
He's been a great addition.
Did you do a lot of? I just had the word in my head. Did you do a lot of over the internet rehearsing things, or how did you do that?
Well,
I think we tried to. We tried to send. I think we sent songs around and tried to work on them in our own time. Then me and Brooke did try to do a couple of writing sessions, which we did do all right in, considering we were quite new to writing with each other at that point. So I think we did pretty well. But yeah, we ended up practicing in the Brooke's garage because it was like in the summer, so we just had the doors wide open, which some neighbors liked it, some didn't.
I mean, technically, it wasn't really legal, was it? But
not really.
We were in a bubble. I don't know if anyone really knew how the bubbles worked, and lockdown. Oh, I don't know.
Well,
who was breaking rules, really?
At least you were musicians at the time. I was just watching the Go-Go's film recently, and they were like, then we had to learn to play. Like, okay, but you all knew how to play when you started off with the band, correct?
Well, yeah, kind of.
I thought so.
You'd think so, yeah. No, it make me think about it, but yeah.
Should we get
Maybe that's why
the
some
old
neighbors didn't like us.
Of course, sometimes it doesn't matter how good you play; they just don't know good quality when they hear it. So that I couldn't imagine actually starting a band at that time and trying to do all the things that you have to do to get cohesive enough to feel like you were strong enough to go and play. Now, how soon? You say you played your first gig then in 21. Is that, how did it come about over there in England with getting out and playing again? I played during that time frame. We had a jam band that played at a club not far from here during the whole pandemic. In August, we started playing an open jam. So how was it there?
I forgot the first question. Can you repeat that? Sorry, I got interested in what you were saying about you playing with your band, and then I totally forgot the first question. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Go on, say it again.
That's okay. If you look to your left, you'll notice I'm in the same boat sometimes. I'll be waving. I'll just. But no, just as far as how was it in England, as far as getting back to that? You say you played your first gig in 21, so.
Yeah, we rehearsed twice a week, wasn't it? If not more. And I know we really went for it, and to the point where, we were nearly sick of it. Not sick of it, but we were rehearsing so much, and we just wanted it right for the first gig, whenever that was going to be, because we kept booking gigs for them to be cancelled because no one knew when lockdown was going to end. So we had to always be ready, and that was quite exhausting as well, really. But yeah.
At the same time, we didn't have anything else to do, so it was kind of nice to only have to think about one thing. But yeah.
Now, based on the track that you did back then, when you did the Stay Home track, were you concerned about getting back out and playing, or how did that feel to you when you got out there?
Go on, Anna, you take it.
It was scary, because I think there was definitely a time when it was like, well, are we, we finally found, I felt like we'd just gotten our feet, and we were like, oh my gosh, this could be good. Like, we got on really well, and felt like we were just starting to gel as in the writing process and everything, and then everything shut down, and it was kind of like, well, are we even going to be able to perform again? Like, is this what's going to happen? And it was the thought of doing a gig was like, it felt like such a thing that was so far into the future that it was just like, well, it might not. And I think I was just relieved when we could do our first gig, because it was like, it was nerve-wracking because it'd been so long, but yeah.
I know that there was a lot of concern about what am I going to do as a musician? For people who are working as musicians, especially, that there was concern with, what do I do now if I can't be playing out? I mean, of course, there's writing music, there's recording music, you can do that, but to get out and promote that music, to become what I believe is more important these days, instead of the music industry, that musicians be the industry of music. And you write your stuff, you record your stuff, and reap more of the rewards. Now, I understand that you may not reach as big of an audience as fast, but when it comes to that, you're back then, for people being a musician, they had to kind of figure out what else to do, which is another part of the scary thing. They're like, what do I do now?
Yeah, well, I suppose there's a lot more. I mean, part of me wishes we were back in the past, because then we'd have the gigs just to concentrate on the gigs side of things. But I feel like today you got to concentrate on that. You got to concentrate on the social media side of things. You got to concentrate on the TikTok side of things. And that's a lot of other thinking when you could be concentrating on songwriting, on the performance of stuff. And it's just, you've got to be everything at once a lot of the time these days. So I don't know, it's good fun though, don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
It's just
absolutely. And Brooke, when you say that, it kind of reminds me of myself, where there are days where you feel like, whoops, somebody tells you about, are you doing this, and you're like, wow, okay, I feel like I'm all of a sudden 20 steps behind when I thought I was right on top of it. I thought, okay, good. And then you're like, wait, hold on a second. Wait, what? I should be doing what? Okay, when am I going to do that? Okay.
Yeah, it can be disheartening, and you can't compare yourself to people online. It's hard not to sometimes when you see people doing so well, and it's great, and they found their niche and TikTok and stuff. But then you start to question it yourself. But you just got to do what you do best, I suppose.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I really that's a good message, because there's a lot of times I've heard it over the years, and you probably have as well, through interviews and things like that with musicians that you like, where they say, I don't really listen to the music that we play, that kind of music, because it's like in the movie Rockstar. If I start paying attention to that, I might get caught up in that, and then they'll just say, well, you're just doing what they're doing. So when you say that, it's kind of like, yeah, no, I really need to just concentrate on what I'm doing and not worry about what everybody else is doing. And just enjoy it, whatever it is that comes my way. As far as the writing is concerned, do you two do all of the writing, or does Morgan pop in on some of the writing? Or
well, we both write, and we sometimes write on our own, and then bring it to everybody, and then sometimes we write together, and then we bring it to Morgan, and then Morgan adds what he wants to it, drum wise, or he might say, oh, this note might be better here, or and it all comes together, doesn't it, in the end?
Yeah.
Do you two write considerably differently than each other, or do you have similarities in your writing that you're like, oh wow, that's interesting that we mesh like that?
I think we do. We've found I think we are different writers, but also I think we've been playing together now for 5 years, so we've kind of found things that we know work really well, and things that we can do together when we're writing together, and find little processes that we find but I mean, even then it's not always, there's always new things that crop up and new ideas that come when we come together, and same separately as well. It's just constantly evolving, really, which is good.
It is very good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Do you tend to write lyrically first or musically first?
It's tricky, really. It's different, isn't it, each time?
Whatever
first comes first, and then whatever, like personally, if I think of a line or a subject, I go on that route first, write the lyrics, and then the music comes. But then if I get a riff, then I get the lyrics. Sometimes you never know. It's one of those.
Right.
Yeah, I think mostly for me, the music comes first and then the lyrics seem to follow. I don't usually come up with the lyrics first, but that's just me personally. But then, yeah, again, though, sometimes there'll be like a line I'll write down quickly, and then I might use it later on. It could be like a year or 2 years, and I come back to it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that could work a bit.
Yeah,
but yeah,
I've got
it's
a
just mixed
book
up.
of lines that I've written. You know, you write a couple of lines here or there, and you're like, well, I got to keep that. I don't have the rest of it, but I'm going to keep that. And then you come up with something else. You're like, ooh, I could put those two together. Might even have been something I wrote in high school, which is, you know, been a couple of years ago. But
I think we've both got very long notes on our phones of like possible lyrics and stuff. I did it the other day. I got an idea for something and opened my notes, but I opened my shopping list instead by accident. And I was like playing, and then I was looking at it and I was like, oh, actually, milk, eggs.
Now you guys have 2 EPs currently.
You're not showing me that one yet. Sorry.
And then the new album is a full album, correct? That's coming soon.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
And let's talk a little bit about what's going to be on that, because you've had some of the songs that are available out there that I've been listening to are on Spotify, and then sometimes there's bands that'll put out a bunch of singles and then they'll kind of put that all on the record. But you've kind of done that on an EP with some of the songs that I was listening to. Are these all a lot of songs outside of those singles? I know that you have, of course, Float is your new single that's out there.
Yeah, we've got a few of the singles. We've got, was it Cellar, ADHD, Float, and those 3 will be on the album. But there's going to be about, I think it's like 12 to 14 songs on the album, something like that. But they're all new, unheard songs, so it's exciting to get them out there, and to be produced by Luke Morley from Thunder as well is another experience in itself. I mean, we spent 10 days in the studio with him, day and night, and we're all sleeping in the same studio as well, so we all had like breakfast together, like bed hair everywhere, and it's just it's surreal, really, as an experience.
Who did did you guys kind of do the EPs on your own, or did you have somebody local producing for you on that?
We did them on our own with some guys called the Snug Recording Company. Okay. And they recorded us, but we kind of self-produced it in a way. We had to come up with all the little ideas and the arrangements and everything for the EP. So it's been a different experience doing the album, for sure.
Tell me a little bit, tell us all a little bit about Lunacy, the live and acoustic album. How'd that come about? And it's very good, and it sounds great. I was really happy with listening to the quality of everything. Was great. Guitars sound really good, and your voices sound great. How'd that come about to decide to do that?
Go on, Anna.
Well, to be honest, me and Brooke, like, we do a lot of, when we lost our drummer, we did a few acoustic shows together, because it was just easier, because we already had gigs booked in, and we're like, well, we need to do them anyway. So we did them acoustically, and kind of found it was quite nice and really brought out the country side of us. And I think with the harmonies does sound very country when they're stripped back, and even the melodies on their own, are quite country. So yeah, we just thought it would be a good idea to record an acoustic album. Not acoustic album, acoustic version of the EP. So yeah, we did an acoustic version of Straight Jacket on there as well, which is a little bit different to the original.
I think it was a year after the release of Lunacy. I think we released that, so it was like a celebration 1 year. Sort of thing, so. And
then what was I want to say? And that was just the live part of it. It was live in a studio, right?
Yeah, completely live. I think it was filmed as well. It's very nerve-wracking actually, because we've not really done that sort of thing before, but I don't know, it was different.
Yeah, that was recorded at the Snug, where we, it was like they got a live room downstairs, so we did it in there.
Wow.
I feel personally, because we're more used to playing together like that now, I feel like I'd love to do it again now.
Yeah,
it would be better. I'm not particularly happy with that whole performance really, but I mean, obviously it was good fun on the day, and you got to just look back at things like the time capsule really of that time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of why you do an EP, right? It's a it's a shorter sampling. It's not, you're not having oh my God, we did a whole album like that, and you're like, okay. But I think it's great. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I really enjoy hearing you two sing together as well. How did that, I may be jumping back a little bit because, but how did that feel the first time you two kind of, let me step back a little further. How did you two meet?
Okay. Go on, Anna.
It was through a mutual friend in Derby. He's the guy who runs where we rehearse. His name's Gez. So yeah, he put me in touch with Brooke, because Brooke was looking for a bass player. So he forwarded my name on. I sent her some videos of me playing, and then we met up. I was living in Leicester at the time, and yeah, we just gelled straight away. Really, it was just like we've known each other for so long, but never met. So
yeah, no.
Yeah, it's not always easy finding bass players that sing. That's been my understanding.
Especially beautiful ones as well.
Right. Oh, stop, darling.
So yeah, it's great when you get to that person, and I recently lost a friend who kind of helped me get into the professional side of playing music. And I'm a bass player as well, and I do lead vocal work and things like that. So, and background, he and I gelled really well, and that's magic. I mean, I don't know how it was at first with you two. If did you just sing along to something, or how did you test that out?
I think it might have been Devil, first song we sang on together.
Yeah, it was either Devil or because we did an acoustic, we did an acoustic version, but we did a live version of Highly Suspect's Little One. And I was messing around with the harmonies on there. And then I kind of took inspiration from their harmonies and added them into Devil. I think the two kind of crossed over a bit, I think.
Yeah, but they did them similar sort of time, so that was our sound from the start. It was just gritty grunge. I don't know, with like the harmonies thing going on. Can I give it like a Fleetwood Mac kind of thing going on? I don't know. I can't really describe
country thing. I think.
Country. I mean, Luke said that when we sing together, it's quite haunting and quite folky in a way, which I thought was quite a good way to describe it, really.
Yeah, folky.
Yeah, I like that idea. That's a great way. I like how you do your harmonies, where you come in on the lines, and I really like that. It's not just
thank you.
everything. It's let this flow, and then you come in sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, and I really dig that. Because that's kind of about marrying voices together, and that's what it's about. Dynamics. We do have some folks in the chat here today. We got Brian Sanchez. Hello, everyone, from Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Hello, Brian.
Used to go to Albuquerque when I was a kid. We used to go out and visit my grandparents out there. Emma Jade is here. She is one of my big favorites here. And just a big hello and shout out. And hit that like button. Here's a question from Drag Rhino. Anna, when you write, do you ever sit down and think, I'm going to write a tune for MuddiBrooke, or I'm going to write a song for Floodhounds? Or do you just write and see what happens?
Well, to be honest, I don't really do much of the writing with Floodhounds. That's more Jack, who's the singer. He kind of writes, and then it's kind of like how Morgan is with us, I guess. So he writes on his own, and then he'll bring it to me and Lauren, who's the drummer, and then we kind of just add, change things that might work a little bit better or something like that. But yeah, in terms of MuddiBrooke writing, I feel like most of my writing suits MuddiBrooke better, because that's, I don't know, more. I don't know where I kind of go really with it, but yeah.
I'll just make this a quick question because this is something that just came to mind. That's what I love about doing the show. It's a conversation. But have you ever written something that you've ended up doing, but when you brought it, you were like, I don't know about this one, but then maybe Brooke, you'll look at something that Anna's written, or Anna, you'll look at something Brooke has written. You're like, well, no, but what if we do this? Then we could do it. And it would be great.
Well, I meant to tell you the other day, Anna, I've got this new song idea. It's called The Shopping List.
Now you tell me.
But I don't know if it's good for us or what. You got your milk, got your
pair of Kit Kats.
Okay, these products are fine, but I think maybe these products would be better. Maybe we could highlight some of these.
Try and get an endorsement at the same time.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about ready to say. Endorsements are good. Our buddy Salvatore is with us today. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Hello.
And have you ladies already had dinner tonight? Is that?
Not yet.
Nope.
Not yet. Oh, all right. What time do you usually eat over there?
About now.
Weird times. We're all backwards.
I'm not going to say that.
Talk for yourself.
Yeah, probably about
there.
now. Depends.
So what time is it over there then? In the morning?
What's that?
What time is it over there in the morning?
Here it's 12:30. It's lunchtime here.
Oh.
Yeah. So every meal you're having, we're having the one before that.
Oh. That's a good way to think of it.
Interesting way to think
What about
that.
breakfast?
I love breakfast. I love it. And I love eating straight away too. I like getting up, making the coffee, and making breakfast.
Oh yeah, that's what gets me out of bed.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Coffee in the morning.
Yeah, coffee. Do you like
function
dark
without-
coffee? Do you like medium roast?
Anything really. Give me
As long as
coffee.
it's
I
got the
don't
name
care.
coffee stamped right on it.
Yeah. Instant, whatever. No, I
the caramel Starbucks, don't you?
I do. They are. I know. It's awful, and they're so bad for you. But I don't. They're so good. So good.
Well, and that's the beauty. As stupid as this sounds, you tell me if it really sounds stupid. But before we started, I thought, that's the beauty of doing these kind of interviews, because I got my coffee and I don't have to worry about coffee breath when we're sitting here talking, because that's just a thing, right?
I hate coffee. I'm so aware. Every time I drink coffee kind of nearly all day. I do switch to decaf now, so that's a little bit better. But I'm just, when you feel it and you're just like, yeah, it's horrible. But
that's not the worst of it.
That's when you just have to kind of sometimes honestly ask, how is it for everybody else? Either when you don't or you do. Let's talk a little bit about the songs too. Float is the newest single right now. And then can you tell me a little bit about what it's about, if you would like? If you don't, that's fine too, because sometimes people like to leave it out there.
So Float was it was about finding the flow of life, really. And I just come out of a bit of a weird relationship. It wasn't very good.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It was what it was. But I learned a lot from coming out of that. Realized how much lighter I felt. And I was like, oh, I feel like I'm able to do so many other things if I just, like, I feel like you always know when you're in a bad situation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of about that. It's like when you know something's pulling you down, and people, not just relationships, but like jobs and other people around you as well, like you feel pulled down. So then when you let go of those, and you've always known that you should let go of them, and then it's like, oh, you feel so good. And sometimes you've got to like trust that instinct a bit more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where it came from, really.
That's great.
Mm.
That's great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, a sequel to it, isn't there, on the album?
There is a sequel. Yeah.
There's a what?
Is it prequel or sequel?
Well, it's a bit more of a prequel, actually.
Okay.
It's kind of the opposite. So Float's about like feeling good and feeling elated and whatever. But then the other song is kind of the opposite of that, where you feel a bit bogged down and trapped in that state of like, I can't get out, and I don't know how to do anything else other than just be miserable and dwell in it. And it's like, that's the easiest thing.
Find happiness in the sadness, wasn't it? And we called it Sync, so it's definitely
it's finding the happiness in the sadness, definitely.
Yeah. And you were mentioning Cellar as well. That was some of the tracks are kind of like ADHD. That's a heck of a song, and a thing that a lot of people talk about these days, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Tell me about how you came about wanting to. Well, in fact, I even have a piece of art. This was for the single, right?
Yeah, Anna made that.
That's really cool.
That.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. I'm an artist myself and do graphic design, so I love when I see things like that. So, yeah, tell me about that. That's kind of a cry out from a situation, right?
Go on, you explain.
Well, we came up with a basic idea, didn't we? And you've got the whole graphic design skills because Anna used to be a video game designer in uni and things. So you got that sort of programming, haven't we? But we came up with the basic idea that we've got all these thoughts, ADHD, and what thoughts we have, and when they cross over, and it's just chaos coming out of the mouth. And we're like, well, how can we get that on in a square?
Yeah. There's lots of like, if you zoom in, there's like even more that's going on.
It just goes on and on and on if you zoom in. And I love that.
Yeah. It's kind of, the more you look at it, the more mad you feel, actually.
Eventually you'll run from me. I like this one. Yeah, that's a good one. Why did I come in this room? I've been there a million times. Did I really? I feel like
it wasn't too easy. It wasn't too difficult to just think of stuff, really. So I was just like, wow. I was like, I kept messaging Brooke, like, just send me loads of random sentences that you feel. And she was like, there was a bit of backwards and forwards. So
I bet if you found those messages now, it's just that, like loads of different random lines, just looks mental.
Absolute chaos. Yeah.
Do you ever have that issue? I have that issue with, hey, could you call my phone? I don't know where I put it down. That's my big one.
Yeah.
I'll just plop it somewhere. And I need to I almost came up with a system recently. I thought, you know what? Just pick a place in every room that if you're going to put your phone down, just put it there. And that's a great idea. It's just a matter of putting it to use.
It's just having that kind of thought to do that, isn't it? I mean, I can't say the amount of times that Anna's lost her phone in venues, and it's always in a bag. Always in a bag.
It's always you can talk though, right? Every time she's like, wherever I've lost the van key, I've lost the keys, I don't know where they are, and I'm like, you had them. She's like, did I give them to you? I'm like, no, I give them to you. This is every gig. Just, one of us lose.
On the Wayward Sons dates. Oh, sorry, go on.
It seems like it's the goofiest thing when you're doing it, but the beautiful thing about it is there's so many other people out there doing the same thing, and
it's just a frustrating thing though, because every time you do it, you think, oh, when am I going to learn? And it's just it's just like two different brain waves of But on the Wayward Sons dates, we actually in Gloucester, we left behind two pieces to merch, and this venue that we played, it was an absolute maze of a place. It was unbelievable. But then we only really realized when we got the day after in Southampton, and we like setting up the merch, and my heart dropped. I was like, oh God, no. And I remember where I left it. I could see where I left it in my mind. But yeah, it was lovely. One of Wayward Sons' road is Hugh. He lives near there, so he went and grabbed it and brought it to us the weekend after when we were in Tivoli and in Buckley in Wales. So yeah, we got a big Easter egg for that. I couldn't thank him enough, really. Save our asses.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just so that we can wrap up here, I don't want to keep you much longer here. But how was the tour with Wayward Sons?
Lots of fun. Well, we did half the tour last year in January.
Okay.
But this was like the second part of it, really. It was supposed to be in October, then Toby got his bad back. And then so it was just carried on from then, really. Morgan's face.
That's a great photo.
Right. I was like, which one of Morgan? Yeah, that one. It's got to be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's always good fun with those guys, and they're such lovely people as well to get along with.
You're not kidding. I had a chance to follow them on a few shows in Europe and then into England when they were touring with Steel Panther back right before the pandemic, right before everything shut down. I came home and they shut our school down where I work, and so that was wild. But yeah, great bunch of guys, fantastic. And I was just I was happy that they took you guys out, just like I was telling Toby the other day that I was happy about Scorpions taking out Thunder Mother. It's another one of them. I don't know if you know of them.
Yeah.
KK's Priest taking Burning Witches out too. I thought that was great. So, what is the date that the album is ready to drop? Do you have that?
The album is going to be coming out early next year.
Okay.
Just because of everything going on with it, but we're going to be releasing singles beforehand, so it's not going to be long till we release the first single. So it's not long to wait for that. But yeah, we're excited to release it.
I bet.
Yeah.
What kind of media will you have that on? Will it just be streaming, CD? Are you going to do
all of it? I think CD, vinyl, online. I think I managed to mention cassettes the other day, but I don't know. I can't confirm that one. Who knows? I apparently they're back in cassettes, but
I know. Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think it's great as far as that's concerned, but I don't know if it's great because you wonder how many people have a cassette player anymore. They're out there. I have one, but I have one. But I mean, I have one. That's not everybody. I'm kind of.
No, I don't think we do actually.
I don't think we do anymore. No.
See, check it out. See what you think. But the vinyl, because you guys have a vinyl that's available on your website of your EP, correct?
Yeah, Lunacy. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I'm looking into that, I'd like to get a copy of that myself. What's up next live for you guys, real quick?
Live, we have got. Let me just check the T-shirt. Oh, look at our T-shirt!
How handy!
Wow, available
That's
now.
What I
need. What we got next? Right,
Thursday.
This Thursday we're playing in Manchester. Headline show at the Grand Central. We've not played that before, have we? So that'll be nice.
I don't think so.
No.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not played a headline show in a little while actually, so that'll be fun. We can show a few more songs off that we've not played before, and and then Saturday we're in Dorset for Teddy Rock's festival. So we're on the same stage as our mates in a band called In Me. Have you heard of them?
No, I haven't.
They're really good.
I'm loving all of the bands that I'm learning about. There's just there's a really cool culture over there in England right now with so many of these great bands.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there's In Me on the stage we're playing on, and Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons as well.
Oh wow.
And then Sunday we're in Norwich for Rocksoft Festival.
Okay.
Which will be good fun. And then we're like back in Dorset for Love Rocks, Made of Stone Festival with Blackstone Cherry and Ugly Kid Joe and that. And it's all good. It's all go. And Steel House Festival in Wales. We just can't get out of Wales at the moment.
It's true.
It's a good thing.
That's fantastic. Well, that's great. I'm really excited for you guys. I'm excited about the music. I have one last question. We thrive as a tribe is kind of your, I guess, a mantra, I guess, if that's what I would call it. My band, the one I came up with for us is We're Not McDonald's. But this one seems cooler. So.
All right. That's racist what you said then. Yeah. Okay. But yeah,
because I always think we don't play everything everybody plays. So.
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So how did you hit upon that as a kind of a line for the band?
Well, I've personally always liked the Native American culture, and just with loving Adamant as well, and the sound and the tribal. I just love tribal drums, everything. And when we formed, I was just coming out of a really bad relationship, and it pissed me off, to be honest. And it just, I don't know, it woke something in me that was a bit, I don't know, not angry, but just I wanted to do something. So it was like, and I came up with this face paint, and it's like Woman Warrior.
I love it.
And then we thrive as a tribe. It's true, because we can't really do anything without our followers and everything else, and they're the tribe, if you like. So if they join the tribe, we're all working together, sort of thing. So
right, I love it.
I also added in the like when you're in being a bit of an outcast as well, like in school and stuff, or like just generally in life, like we kind of feel a bit like the outcast. So when you come together, not so much. You belong somewhere, essentially. Yeah.
An outcast tribe.
Yeah. Tribe of outcasts.
Yeah. I had a group of buddies that I hung out with in school, and we were I always called us kind of neutral. We weren't the jocks. We weren't the burnouts. We weren't, the preppies. We weren't the popular guys. We just, I don't know. You start feeling like you're a little more human. It's that middle ground.
Yeah, that sounds like us, really. We didn't know each other in school, but I feel like if we did, we'd
oh my God,
stick together.
It would have been awful to everyone else. Not to us. We would have loved it. Like, we would just been so cringy. And I don't know.
Well, we're not now.
SpongeBob songs. Yeah.
Tiptoe through the tube.
I do. I do have to put this up because Emma Jade made mention of 8-track too. I was about ready to say, do not do 8-track. Nobody's doing 8-track anymore. But
what's 8-track?
Oh, I love you for that, Brooke. That's brilliant. I get that a lot these days, just because I'm so young. But I say things and people are like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh. But 8-track is,
I feel like
I had some sitting around here. It was the weirdest. I always call it the worst thing outside of FM radio or AM radio, whatever, where you have to listen to a bunch of ads and then you hear your music. And I'm like, shut up and play the music. That's why I'm here. But 8-track, it had programs on it, 4 programs, and then it would finish this amount of songs and then go ka-chunk, and then it would go to the next group of songs, and it was on a tape, magnetic tape. But it was in such a way that it wound inside of itself. So if you played the crap out of it, you would start hearing the other songs on another program opposite that was on the other side of the tape backwards. So
right.
As it would start wearing thin. And as the song would end, you'd start hearing backwards from another song that's on the other side of the tape. It's terrible. Not only that, they'd split songs in half. Are you Judas Priest fans at all?
No. Can't say I am
Perfect.
really.
That's exactly the way I wanted it to be when I asked that question. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I've never really listened to them much.
Yeah,
I know a couple of songs, but
I got their Sad Wings of Destiny on 8-track. That was really smart. It's still fun. I still have it. It's blue, and which doesn't go with the album cover.
Can't beat blue.
One of their greatest songs. It fades out and then it goes ka-chunk and then it fades back in, the Ripper, and it's just like, oh my God. They would split the song in half, and we were okay with that because that's just the way we listened to it. But it's horrific. It's terrible. I'll turn you on to that.
I'm just confused by that whole concept.
You should be. You should be. Those of us who lived through it are confused by it.
Mm.
It's ridiculous, but I don't know. Anyway, I'll let you get rolling here, and then I will talk to you. Anything else you want to say to your fans, to everybody out there, before we get going here?
Hello, old buddies, old pals. How you doing? We're looking forward to releasing this album. Keep standby. We've got some singles coming at you, and we've got loads of gigs coming up, and new merch coming as well. So, all good.
So, Anna, do you work on any of the merch? Do you do any of that?
Not really. That's mainly all Brooke. Okay. Pretty much.
I think a T-shirt for ADHD with that artwork might work.
I think it would be a pretty cool T-shirt. If anyone wants that as a T-shirt, let us know. So we know.
Maybe I'll send you some ideas.
Send them over.
Just for fun. So, all right. Well, then, thank you very much. So glad you were able to make it today and do this with me, and really appreciate your time.
Well, thank you for having us. We really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can have you back. I would love to have you back when it's closer to the album coming out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'd be
and maybe even we could do one when you're at a show. We can do a quick pop in and see how things are going. And
can do. We're very like headless chickens at shows though. We'll be like, hello.
Well, everybody.
We're stressy.
Everybody wants to see that, bro.
They don't. No jokes. I'm joking. It's cute. It's cute.
Before we hit stage, it's just 100%
I'm sorry, Stu,
chaos.
but you're mistaken.
It is, and this is how. Yeah, this is how we end up leaving the merch. We lose the keys.
Slap it.
We have like gig dreams. I don't know. I feel like other musicians probably get too, but like I have dreams where we're about to go on in like 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
And all my amps are like broken down in various places. I'm like, my pedal board is here, but my cables are in the car, which is now parked down 10 streets away. And I'm like, I can't plug anything in. And then my amp's like all over the thing. And I get handed a set list, and I'm like, I don't know these songs.
Not far off from real life, though, is it?
Gotta wing it.
I keep having this recurring dream at the moment where I don't know, someone just pushes me out onto a stage and they say sing, and I think, I've not warmed up, and I get to the mic and I go, I can't sing. You know, and you can't scream. I can't sing in a dream.
Have you? Okay, so added to that are mine. I have dreams where I go. I was on stage with the Who, in my dream,
Oh, okay.
and I
That's
went to a Who show. But I was in my dream. I was on stage with the Who, and I'm like, I don't, what are we doing? I don't know. And I'm like, I'm gonna look like an idiot to the Who. So, have you ever been
It's
on stage in
horrible.
a dream with somebody famous like that?
The stage
I
get pushed out onto it. They've got like millions and millions of people in the crowd, like big festivals and stuff. But I can't remember who's on stage with me. I just know I can't sing.
yeah, I feel like I've had dreams where I had one like a couple of months ago, I think it was. I was depping for a band, and I think I'd spent like all this time learning all these songs, and then they got there, and then they were like, "Oh, we're just gonna jam this for a bit, or we're gonna do this version, but it's really easy. Like you'll get it." And I have no idea what, and they're like it's like jazz, just like, and I'm like trying to keep up, and I have no idea what they're playing, and it's all like, yeah, that was not too long ago, and I woke up like, thank God.
Anna, I think the worst part about that story is that I have a friend of mine who actually would happen to him in reality.
Oh God,
They'd
someone was
rehearse the crap out of a bunch of songs, and then they just go, "We're gonna do this song." I don't know that. We didn't do that song.
Yeah,
I know, but it's easy. You'll get it. You'll be fine. And you're like, "Oh my God."
yeah, yeah.
There's nothing worse than having somebody look at you and go, "You'll be fine." I mean, there's something good about it.
It's not reassuring, is it?
No. At first, you think it's good. You believe in me. That's great. But then all of a sudden, you're like, you don't understand.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Is raising my anxiety to about here, and I'm like,
yeah.
I look like a deer in the headlights. So, which is what happened when my friend wanted me to play War Pigs at a gig where I was sitting in.
Oh God.
You played that at my house. I said, you played it at your house. I figured out about 2 of the chords eventually, and that's what happened. So that's what our other friend said. You look like a deer in the headlights. I'm like, thanks. I appreciate that. That's exactly the look I was going for. So anyway, yeah. No, I don't make as lovely a deer as you lady would make. So it's like, it was no good. No good for me. But, well, okay. I should let you get going now. And again, I really appreciate it. I look forward to having you back on the show, and let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. Thanks again for having us.
Thank you for being here. Appreciate it.
It's been great.
All right. We'll see you soon backstage. In the meantime, guys, have a wonderful rest of the day. And we'll play this out again real quick. And then we will see you guys on the next one soon, which is going to be, actually, I'll be back in about 35 minutes with Grand Bonnet. So hang tight.
Ooh, bye.
Bye.